pretty windy out here at Oceanside, but we are in South Beach, Miami at a mindset workshop that we've been working on getting up to this level for about 2 years, I'd say, and this one has just been so unbelievable. Again, every time I come to one of these, like my personal development, my professional development, it just soars. It's so cool. So today I wanted to share some lessons learned from this particular training with you. Now this is only a recap of my first 2 days because there's too many lessons learned, so I'll be sure to share more in part 2. But yeah, it's been a great trip. Paul and I have been enjoying some adult time. We have been keeping really close to our structure. I've been getting up in the morning, hitting up the hotel gym, taking walks on the beach, doing morning coffee, just exploring, going into training from 9 to 5 all day, connecting, networking, having fun at night. But I just felt like it was pretty important to take some of these learnings that I had and share them with you because I know you're going to benefit from them. So let's get into the episode. Okay, I came back up poolside because it's a little quieter up here. So I'm going to share my lessons learned with you. So I got my journal. Literally, I've used this journal since my very first mindset training, which was back in June of 2021. Like that's the first like big one I really dove into. And so this journal is almost filled with all of my learnings, and it's really cool to go back to the very first one and just see how far I've come. To even just read what I wrote and how I understood the information that was being, presented to me, and how I actually understand it now and how I'm applying it to my own life. This training though, I feel like unlocked a lot of things for me, and I just want to share the way that I received these lessons, and maybe I'll ask a couple questions and you can reflect on it and use the information any way that you feel like is going to serve you best. But one thing that they said, my very first lesson, or the most thought-provoking thing that happened for me, is one of our instructors was like, is it really your purpose, right? Like we're all here for a purpose. For some reason, whatever it is, we are on this earth to do something great. And he's like, is your purpose what you're good at, right? Or did you fall into that thinking it's your purpose? So let me explain this. So am I truly good at this? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like I feel like with what I'm doing with the Angie method and what I'm doing with my coaching with women, mindset coaching, health coaching, I really feel like it's my purpose, and it's my purpose evolving. Before, I did things I was good at and thought it was my purpose because I was skilled in those things, because I was competent in those things, because I was confident in those things. I literally thought my purpose was to be a teacher with children, which I do love, because I was really good at it. It was natural to me. It was intuitive to me. But sometimes your purpose, it can be defined, or you can think it can be defined by what's easy for you. And so that might reinforce the purpose of why you're here. But maybe think bigger. Maybe if it's easy for you and you've just fallen into it and you continue to go down that path, maybe there is something different. And so I was like, this is amazing. So it just opened up my mind to, when the possibilities are presented to me, when opportunities are presented to me, to not push them away because maybe someone comes to me with a business like proposal. Maybe somebody comes to me with a completely different career path. I want to keep my vision and I want to keep my eyes open to be like, wow, you know what? That could actually be my purpose. Like I'm really good at what I'm doing right now, but maybe there's something different, and if I just decide what path I want to take me on. So I thought that was a really amazing thing to think about. I think so many of us get really good at something, right? And we find a lot of purpose in that skill set that we kind of put blinders on to what actually could be something super meaningful in our life. Okay, number 2. How many times do you hear someone say you have to have intentions, right? You have to set intentions to know what you want to do, to know where you want to go. With that thought of that intention, then the action is the next thing in the line of things to happen, right? And so you have to get intentional. And what I loved is the way that they said it was, a moment is driven by intention. And I was like, I've never thought about it like that. But think about this moment right now, right? I am sitting here talking to you on a camera on YouTube, and this moment happened because of the intention that I set for it to happen, right? Somewhere down the line, I was like, I want to get my message out there. What is the platform that I want to do that from? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? I had to personally develop. I had to professionally develop to understand how to do a YouTube video. I had to personally develop to understand what I wanted my message to be to you. But it all started with an intention to catapult that moment. So when you think that you feel stuck, when you think that you have obstacles presented to you, when you think you can't be healthy and fit, it all starts with the intention of what you truly want. Not focusing on what you don't want, but what you do want. And so in this example, all the possibilities are available to us. Like anything that we want is available to us. We just have to be in charge of the moment with that intention. So if there's something that you're wanting, that you're desiring, if you think it's out of reach, if you think, oh, that's for her but not for me, it is for you. But you have to look at the possibilities and be in charge of that moment. So your decision and your response has impact on others. So what you put intention on, what you decide to do, is not only going to impact your life, but it's going to have a ripple effect to everyone else. So when I decided to switch my model of my business, when I decided to really focus on, hey, I know I can get women a physical transformation, I know I can get them healthier with food and fitness, but what really needed to happen was help women get into that physical body so they could have a mental and emotional upward spiral in their life, so they could have expansion, so they could have growth. But it all started with me. I got intentional with myself, and I stepped into that person. I became that person. I identified with that person. And so now my response and my impact I'm able to have on others all started with the intention of a moment. So my last two, they're more questions. Lessons learned, but questions that I need to reflect on. Maybe if I ask, you'll reflect on. So based on purpose, right? Not on just what you're good at, not what you're competent in. What would I be capable of doing, right? Of living out this meaning, of living out this purposeful life if I had the attributes of the most beautiful, powerful self? What are the attributes of that person? And sometimes we get confused, like, well, I don't even know what to set my intentions on, or I don't even know what my purpose is. Well, that's the whole point of it. Like, we're finding it as we go, but we're not shutting down. We're not putting the blinders on. And so a way that I like to do it, and when I was listening to one of our, teachings this weekend, I was like, okay, I have to really decide right now, as the person that I am, do I have the attributes of someone who is living out a life of purpose? Even if I'm still discovering it, and I feel like someone who is living with purpose, they're curious, they have gratitude, they're joyful, they're positive, they bring high energy. If someone's living out purpose or finding purpose, they're probably not going through life feeling worried and full of fear and anxious and overwhelmed and stressed, because that's going to put blockage on what's available to them. And so I sat there and I redefined for myself, okay, the attributes of who I see myself as the most powerful, beautiful self. And I can use that now as a framework, as a structure to start opening up my eyes to all the possibilities of what my purpose could be. Okay. My fourth and final one. I'll have more because these are only from my first 2 days of 4 days of training. So this will be part 1 video. But my last one was, and I feel like this is so important because I feel like we live in a world of noise, even just auditory noise, like sitting out here and I can hear that the generator is going over here for the air conditioner. I can hear the hose is going on for them, like watering the plants around me. I can hear there's a little waterfall by the pool. I can hear the street noise. There's gonna be a lot of noise. But we are responsible, and we have to tune in to what is information that is being given to us, that is being presented to us, that is important, that is going to help us be that most beautiful self, that's going to help us be more intentional in our life, that is going to help us move towards that person that's living the meaningful, purposeful life. And so really understanding how to block out noise and how to understand data, how to understand important things, signals if you want to call them, that are being given to us that we might just not even be paying attention to because there's too much noise. That's a super important skill set. And so for me, one of the things I want to go away with and I want to practice is when I'm talking with people, when I'm watching, like when I'm on social media, when I'm watching Netflix, I want to really understand when things are out there, like what is data to me and what is noise? What is important information coming in that could better my life, that could help me better impact other people's life? And so if we can get better at this, we can get more intentional with our purpose, because we will use data that will drive us towards that person, that'll put us in momentum towards being that most beautiful self. So this was more mindset stuff, right? But this is what it all starts with. Like, if you want to be the healthiest, most fit version of you, you have to really decide what that looks like. And that's not just from a physical stance, that's emotionally, that's mentally, that's living with purpose. So those are my lessons learned. So that's all I got for today. I will be back with more lessons learned from this particular training because it was absolutely amazing. But for now, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Angie Method. Don't forget to hit that like button and that red button to subscribe so you get notifications for future videos. Okay, chat soon.